Different people deal with a long day in different ways. Some people go out running, some people have a glass of wine. For me personally, I cook and I eat. And today, this is exactly what I need. So today we're making Chorizos Pomarola. It's a super classic Argentinian dish, and it's essentially a stock pot of sausages, peppers, onions, and some crushed tomatoes. It's really hearty, it's super delicious, and it's exactly what I need today. Now you classically have this with mashed potatoes, but today I got some nice ciabatta from my local bakery, and I'm gonna make it into a sandwich. All you're gonna need for this dish is some sausages. In this case, I went for kind of classical Argentinian sausages, but if you can't get these, a nice Italian style sausage will work just fine, or really any sausage that you might like. A green, a red, and a yellow pepper, so you get the best of each. A can of whole tomatoes, a white onion, a red onion, a couple cloves of garlic, some oregano, some chili flakes, and a bay leaf, and some red wine. And in this case, since we're doing a sandwich, some kind of nice bread, and that's it. So this dish is actually super easy to make. We'll start by browning the sausages in a saucepan, but we won't actually cook them all the way through. We'll then cook our peppers and our onions. We'll deglaze everything with a little bit of wine. We'll then add our sausages back in, along with our kind of whole tomatoes. And then we'll just cook everything together until the sausages are nice and cooked and the sauce is nice and thick. We'll then toast our bread and then we'll just put the sandwich together. So let's get to it.
So the first thing we got to do is just cut these peppers. What I like to do is to cut the bottom of them. That way you take the stalk off and it's easier to stand them straight. Then just start at the top of the pepper and slice all the way around. That way at the end, you're left with all the seeds and you can just go ahead and discard that. Now we're gonna cut them into a julienne, which all that is kind of thin strips. And now we're just gonna dice the pepper. Next we'll just dice up our onion, and we want it to get to about the same size as we did the peppers. So again, just kind of a rough dice is totally fine here. Now with the garlic, you can definitely kind of chop this finely with your knife. For me personally, I love using my microplane for this. You get a really nice fine paste and it's super quick and easy. Now for the tomatoes, personally, I like a kind of smooth sauce. And so I hit my tomatoes with a blender very quickly, but this is definitely optional. You can definitely skip this step. Now get your pan on medium-high heat and put just a little bit of oil just to help get the sausages started. We're gonna wanna brown them on all sides to get a really nice color, but they're not gonna cook all the way through. We're actually gonna cook it later with the rest of the sauce. Once you've got some nice color on your sausages, you can go ahead and take them away from the pan. Now those little brown bits that are left in the pan here, that's filled with flavor. So now we're gonna get our onions and our peppers into the pan and they'll absorb all that wonderful flavor. Now you'll want to season with a little bit of salt, and if your peppers need a little bit of extra oil, you can add a little bit in. Now we'll want to cook them until they're kind of nice and soft and are developing a little bit of browning. For me, that took roughly 15 minutes, but rather than going by time, you should try and go by looks. So keep cooking them until they look something like this. Now we can add the garlic, and that will cook very, very quickly. So just give it a couple stirs and then you're good to go. The reason we don't add the garlic at the beginning is just because garlic cooks really fast and has a tendency to burn. So we add it at the end and cook it really quickly to avoid it burning. And at this point, you can go ahead and add about a cup of red wine. Now we're gonna keep cooking the wine until all the alcohol evaporates, at which point we can add our tomatoes in. Along with the tomatoes, you'll add the same amount of water or stock, depending if you have it. I didn't have any stock at the time, so I just did it with water. If you do have something like a vegetable stock or a chicken stock, you can definitely use that instead. Now to that we'll add a pinch of oregano, a pinch of chili flakes, and a single bay leaf. Now we can go ahead and add our sausages back into our sauce. Now again, how long you cook that will depend slightly. To me, it took about 20 minutes to get the sausages fully cooked and the sauce nice and thick. Now about 10 minutes in, I went ahead and kind of flipped my sausages just to make sure everything was cooking evenly. And every now and then I'd kind of move the sauce around just to make sure nothing was burning at the bottom. Now, how long these take to cook, again, will depend on the stove, it'll depend on the sausages. For me, it took about 20 minutes, but your timings might look slightly different. Once your sausages are fully cooked and your sauce looks nice and thick like this, you're done.
Now that the sausages are done, all we gotta do is prep our bread and then put the sandwich together. That is exactly what I needed. I mean, if you make this and you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. Last bite. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you're one of those people that have already subscribed, then thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, and it really does mean a lot to me. If you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Just do it. Just press the button. Subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, or not, you know, whatever. But, you know, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.